Well, again, happy Friday, everyone. My name is Katie Egan. I'm the CEO of CourseArc. So I just wanted to welcome everyone and just give you a quick overview for today. So we are going to be showcasing 5 things today. So just some updates on the file manager, quiz answer keys, which is a new feature that is going to be seen inside the LMS. So some tweaks to the certificate block, more tweaks to both the quiz, I think the quiz bank and the quiz bank block, and then Manual Grade Passback, which has gone live. And then at the end, we are planning several user interface or UI updates starting this quarter. So we're going to get your feedback on that as well. So I'm going to be monitoring the chat, and I'll also, when Stacy references some things that have a relevant knowledge base article, I will make sure that I put that in the chat, but feel free to raise your hand or use the chat, to ask us any questions.
So you may have noticed that the file manager has a new look. Now there's more room for you to view your files on the screen at one time, and also quicker access to the options that you need. So for example, you can select all of the files at once or just a handful. And as you select files, these options were previously grayed out and now they're visible. So you can download one or more files at a time, delete files if you've added them, and then also you can put your images into sets. So I'm going to add a few of these files here to a set so I can find them easier from within a course that I'm working on. And I can click Sets. And then if I already have a set that I want to use, I can just select that set, or I can add those to a new set. And this isn't a brand new component of the file manager. It's just a little easier to put your items into sets from here. And this is a feature not everyone necessarily knows about, so I just thought I'd take a second to show this as well. So I can add a new set name here and then click Update, and it will add those items to the set and just refresh your view. You can also click one file and view the properties of that file right here. And as you used to before, when you mouse over the thumbnail, you can click on it and still see the items here. One of the great features about using the file manager is the ability to replace a file with an updated version that will automatically replace your files anywhere that they are linked within your course content. To add one or more files to the file manager, this is a little different. So I'm going to scoot over here and see I have some files on my desktop. So you can locate the files on your desktop or in a folder, and you can drag one or more files at the same time. So once you've selected the files that you would like, you can just drag them into the file manager, and you can drag them to the drag files here area or anywhere that you see that green plus sign and let go, and that will automatically add those files for you. If you're adding a large batch of files, that may take a second to load. Your files that you add will always appear on the top, and then you can quickly add those to a set, as you already saw, if you need to. You can also browse and search the file that you have. So features that you're used to using, such as the keyword search or the ability to reduce your items to a specific set, are still here, along with the advanced search options. But now there's a clear filters button that you can use to clear out any sets or keywords that you already have. The next item we're going to talk about is the Glossary Print button. This is a new one, and anytime you're in a screen of content, actually I can show you this from the student's view. This is the way it's going to look to students from within the LMS. So they'll have a page of content, and if the glossary has been enabled for that course, they can click View Glossary, and there's now a print button right on the glossary. So I can load this here, and it will load a preview of the glossary, and you can see it does include images as well if there are images loaded for your glossary terms. And students can easily print this here or even save it as a PDF. So instructors can now view the answer key to quiz blocks from within the LMS. Here's an example quiz block for a math assessment in Canvas, but this also will work in any of your LMSs. So as you can see here at the top of the page to the left of the student selector dropdown, there is a new answer key button. And when you click this button, actually before I do that, I'll scroll down. You can see here there are no answers filled in. I can click this answer key button and it is going to fill in the correct answers. Since this was math, it takes a second for it to render, but you can see here now all of the correct answers are selected. So you can use that. If you want to click the submit button here, you can see what feedback is also included with the assessment. And just to show another set of questions, this one here is a history unit, and these are some different types of questions like ordering and matching. And as I click answer key here, same thing happens. The answers will then populate for you. There we go. So this is the certificate block. We've had some updates here, and now you have an option to automatically issue a certificate based on a student's quiz score. And content creators can select a quiz from the course and set a minimum score required to earn the certificate. So let's take a look at how this works. I'm going to turn this page into edit mode. And in a previous session, we added this certificate block and created the background image using Canva templates. We're going to add a few links to the chat here for you to catch up on that session if you need to. And today we're going to start with this certificate that was already created. So I'm going to click on the actual block and click edit. And in the top left corner now, you are seeing new radio button options in the issuing section. So I can choose to have the certificate automatically issued based on a quiz score. And the previous option was just manually issued by the instructor. When I choose that option to automatically issue based on a quiz score, I now have two new fields, a dropdown to select a quiz and a minimum score %. And to help you locate the correct quiz, the quizzes are listed here, labeled with the module name, the page name, and the quiz title. And for the minimum score field, you want to add in a number that you can either type in or you can use your arrow keys to add in. And since this one was already created, these other options have already been filled in. So I'm just going to click Save and publish my edits. So now when students earn a 75% on the quiz that I selected, this certificate will automatically be issued to the students. Next is the Quiz Bank quiz block. We've got some updates here as well. You now have the ability to randomize questions based on difficulty level of the questions that are in the quiz bank. So on this page, I'm going to add a Quiz Bank quiz block. And by the way, you can also edit a Quiz Bank quiz block that you have already created and change the setting from manual to automatic. So I'm going to click Edit this page to enter edit mode. Click Add to Content and click Add Block. And I can type or scroll to the Quiz Bank quiz block. And I'm going to quickly fill in the first 5 fields here that we've already discussed in a previous session. Okay, and now I have a question here. How should this quiz be populated? So previously, manually select questions was the option. And when you do select that option, it's a nice reminder of the questions that you have. So you can see the text of the questions, the types, and the difficulty levels. Preview your questions. If I wanted to manually select them, I could check these boxes here. But in this case, the new option is to automatically select based on criteria. So I'm going to select that option. I can add in my number of questions. And I can click Add down here at the bottom. So my questions have automatically been selected based on the difficulty level and the number of questions that I chose. Now I can click Publish My Edits, and this quiz is ready for students. So this is a sneak peek of an option that's currently in testing. This new update will allow student scores to be held until the student or instructor manually syncs the score to the LMS gradebook. The first step will be for your content creators to access the course in CourseArc and go to the tracking and grading section. Then you want to choose from the two new options for score syncing. So automatic is the default that will be on, and the new option is to manually trigger the score to push to the LMS gradebook by the student or the instructor. So once you select manually triggered here, then the rest happens inside of the LMS. Oh, and you need to hit submit at the bottom of the page. Once this is turned on, your system admins will have the ability to let us know if you don't want this feature turned on for your site. So if, for example, if everything's working, you have everything automatic and you want to keep going with that option for your entire organization, you'll have that option. Okay. And now the student can see this option to manually push their score in two places. Once it's going to be at the very last page of content. So I'm going to show you that by clicking on this last page here. And the students will see the last page of content, and at the bottom there will be a large button. Currently this says Save My Score. Administrators, your site admins for CourseArc will have the ability to change the text for the language of this button that appears to the student in two places. So students can click Save My Score right here and it'll push. Or on any page, they can click the More Information link in the bottom right corner to view the View Scores page or View Scores report. Once this report is viewable, students can see their grades and verify everything, and then they can click that button up here in the top right-hand corner. Okay, so this is the instructor's view from within the LMS. Again, this is the Canvas LMS, but this will work in any LMS. The instructors will be able to go to the student progress and performance page, and they will have a sync score button. So they'll be able to see the student score here and compare it to the LMS, and they can sync the score if they notice the student is completed and they'd like to push that score for the student. There will be some more information coming out on this as the development finishes up, and when it's released, we'll send that out to you in the latest newsletter. To this one here, recalculate and sync scores. Yes, so that will automatically sync all student scores. The sync score here is just for the individual students.